In a quiet translation facility hidden away from the outside world, far from the noise of modern civilization, a researcher named Elsa Brandt stared at an ancient Sumerian tablet that had remained unread for almost 4,000 years. The room was silent. The only sound was the hum of the equipment around her as she finished translating the final line carved into the clay. She expected another forgotten religious passage, another ancient story about gods, kings, or temples. Instead, she found something that changed the entire meaning of the tablet. The final words did not describe a myth. They described a date. They described a location. And most importantly, they described a door. For decades, this small clay tablet had been stored inside an archive, labeled as nothing more than a simple temple record. It was considered ordinary, almost meaningless. A small piece of ancient writing with a few symbols and a strange marking on the back. Most researchers ignored the diagram, assuming it was nothing more than decoration. But when Brandt's team analyzed it properly, they discovered that the drawing was not decoration at all. It was a star map. When the ancient markings were compared with modern astronomical calculations, something unexpected appeared. The positions shown on the tablet were not describing a moment thousands of years ago. They were pointing toward an event that had not happened yet. An event connected to a specific alignment that, according to the calculations, would occur within the lifetime of people alive today. The tablet contained 12 separate sections. Each section appeared to be a different part of the same message. The first explained the purpose of the door. The next described who built it. Others revealed its location, its mechanism, and the conditions required for it to open. The final passages described what would happen after the opening. The more the researchers translated, the stranger the discovery became. The first code was hidden in the name itself. For centuries, scholars believed the phrase referred to the gate of Enki, the ancient Sumerian god associated with wisdom and creation. But the original symbols told a different story. The phrase was not describing a gate that belonged to Enki. It was describing a threshold connected to his return. The difference was small, but the meaning was enormous. The ancient grammar did not describe something that happened in the past. It described something that would happen in the future. The tablet was not saying Enki once used the door. It was saying the door was waiting for him to return. The second code revealed the builder. According to the tablet, the door was not created by ordinary humans. It was placed. The word used was the same word ancient Sumerians used when describing something brought down from above and carefully positioned into the earth. The text claimed that Enki himself chose the location and oversaw its construction with the help of beings called the Singers of Stone. This mysterious phrase appears only a handful of times in ancient Sumerian writings. Each time it describes beings connected with shaping materials through sound and knowledge rather than ordinary tools. The tablet suggested that the door was not simply an ancient structure, it was an engineered object. Something designed with a purpose, built according to a specific plan, and sealed until the correct moment arrived. The third code focused on the location. Ancient tradition connected Enki with the city of Eridu, one of the oldest known cities of Sumer. But the tablet gave a different clue. It described the door as existing beneath the second water, where fresh water meets salt water and the salt water turns back. For years, scholars debated what this could mean. The modern interpretation suggested the location might be somewhere beneath the Persian Gulf, near ancient underwater regions where freshwater sources once met the sea before rising waters covered the area. Some researchers believe this description points toward a submerged ancient landscape, a place that existed before rising seas transformed the region. The tablet described the door as being hidden beneath the waters, waiting beneath a place that humanity had forgotten. The fourth code explained how the door would open. It did not mention a physical key. Instead, it described a signal. The tablet explained that the opening depended on a specific vibration or frequency connected to an astronomical event. The ancient writers recorded the movements of certain celestial bodies and believed their alignment would send the necessary signal to activate the mechanism. The Sumerians did not describe the process as magic. They described it like a system. The alignment would happen. The signal would arrive. The door would respond. The fifth code revealed the nature of the seal. The door was not locked by a normal barrier. It was locked by timing. The seal existed because the correct conditions had not yet arrived. The tablet suggested that the purpose of the seal was not to keep something away. It was to prevent the door from opening too early. It was not a prison. It was a schedule. The sixth code introduced something even more unusual: a receiver. The tablet described a device hidden near the door, protected by layers of copper and buried within the earth. Its purpose was to detect the signal from the sky and translate it into the command needed to open the door. The text also mentioned that this receiver had been affected by a great disaster in the past. The ancient flood stories found throughout many civilizations may have been connected to this event. According to the tablet, the damage was not permanent. Over thousands of years, the system was slowly returning to its original state. The seventh code was the calendar. The tablet appeared to record a series of astronomical cycles. It listed previous alignments and connected them with important moments in ancient history. The strange part was that the intervals were not random. They followed patterns based on the movement of specific celestial bodies. When modern calculations were applied, the next window appeared to fall within the current era. The tablet did not give one exact day. It described a period of time, a window during which the conditions would be possible. And according to the interpretation, that window had already begun. The eighth code described previous encounters with the door. The tablet claimed that it had not always remained completely inactive. It described several moments when the mechanism had been tested. The first test supposedly produced only a strange sound that lasted several days. Another described a column of light rising from the location. The final test happened before the Great Flood, after which the door was sealed completely. The most debated line in the entire tablet came after this event. For generations, scholars translated it as meaning that Enki disappeared from Earth. But the newer interpretations suggested something different. The corrected meaning was that Enki stepped through the door and closed it behind him. The ninth code was the one that caused the greatest concern among the researchers. It described the conditions required for the next opening. The tablet listed 3 requirements. The first was a specific human population number. The ancient measurement translated to roughly 8 billion people, a number humanity reached in the modern era. The second condition involved the receiver. The tablet suggested that the system had to become active again. The third condition involved a group called the Watchers. These figures were described as guardians of the knowledge, responsible for preserving the information until the correct moment arrived. The tablet claimed that this group survived through generations, changing forms but continuing their role. They were not described as rulers. They were described as observers waiting for the appointed sign. The 10th code described what would happen when the door finally opened. The tablet did not use mystical language. It described a sequence. The signal arrives. The receiver activates. The seal releases. The door moves. Inside was said to be a chamber unlike anything built by humans. The walls were described as smooth and seamless. A strange light filled the space without any visible source. At the center stood a massive structure called the written stone. According to the tablet, the writing on this structure contained instructions. It was meant for whoever entered after thousands of years. Beneath the chamber was another passage leading to a second doorway made from what the text called living metal. It described a material that responded to the person meant to pass through. The tablet never clearly explained where the passage led. It only said that the air beyond it did not age, and that the journey was not a normal underground path. Instead, it described something closer to a connection between 2 places separated by impossible distance. The tablet ended without a final signature. No name of the writer, no explanation. It simply stopped, as if the message had been completed and nothing else needed to be added. After finishing the translation, Brandt's team searched for confirmation in other ancient sources. They discovered references to the same door, the same timing, and the same mysterious conditions scattered across different collections. Several of these artifacts were no longer publicly available. Whether the tablet describes a real hidden structure, an ancient belief, or something humanity has yet to understand remains unknown. But one thing is certain. Thousands of years ago, the Sumerians left behind a message about a door, a moment in time, in a future event they believed would come long after they were gone. A message written on clay. A message that waited for civilizations to rise and fall. A message that was never meant for them. It was meant for whoever was alive when the door was ready to open.